Hi there, it's Kai from the team, back to talk to you a little bit more about Advantage First shopping campaigns and how we can get the most out of the ones that we're trying to create. Today we're going to be focusing mostly on the audience side of things. So this is definitely a lot of questions that we get about Advantage First shopping campaigns are geared towards maybe the audience segment side and then the definition of the audiences as well. So we're going to go through those today. So essentially, when we dive into the Advantage Plus shopping campaign, we have a couple of options. Okay, so let's take a look at those. When we're looking at the Advantage Plus shopping campaign, on the campaign and ad set level, we can select our conversion location here, website. We can select the pixel that we'll be using. I don't have one here, but this will just be your pixel, and it will encourage you to select like purchase. Okay. Now you can see that we move into the territory where we're talking about audiences. Okay. When we're dealing with an Advantage Plus shopping campaign, we are encouraged to select a location. We have some reporting below that, where we have our engaged audience and our existing customers. Okay, these are not audiences that are going to just be populated, okay, by the campaign itself. You're going to have to do this yourself when you manage the advertising settings. Okay, your engaged audience, this is going to limit you and steer you towards people who have engaged with your website. Okay, they've tried to engage with the location where the conversion is ultimately going to happen. These won't be necessarily your social engagers, they will be website engagers. So stuff like view content, added to cart, those are all going to be relevant here. In terms of existing customers, again, this is kind of self-explanatory one, but you can really benefit from having a customer list and a pixel audience in this. So let's head over to the advertising settings area where we can dive a little bit deeper into this. Okay. So you can see here we have the option to select our audience segments. And now we have the engaged audience, and it's going to ask me to take a look at some of the custom audiences that I've created in my account so that Advantage First shopping campaign can learn more about those people and retarget to those people. Okay, so if we're defining this audience, it gives the Advantage Plus shopping campaign more information to work with. Okay, and what's more, we can actually break down the results of these in terms of the breakdowns tools in the ads manager, and we can learn more about how the engaged audience is converting, for example. Okay, with the existing customers one, this is going to be again custom audiences, but what you will be doing here is having like purchase or a customer list attached to this one. Okay, so ultimately these are going to be audiences that you define. So engaged audiences and existing customers, they're going to be audiences that you define with your own custom audiences. Okay, so for example, engaged audience, there you're going to be able to say anyone who's visited the website, anyone who's viewed content, added to cart, or initiated checkout but haven't purchased, those are going to be the people in the engaged audience, and you can set it to that. Okay, and then the ASC can learn from it. Likewise, existing customers, that's going to be really useful to have your customer list and a pick. Once you have defined those audiences, what you're actually able to do is set an existing customer budget cap on the budget and schedule area. Okay, so this is going to say how much of your budget are you happy going towards existing customers, because they might end up spending in terms of like post-purchase retargeting on those existing customers or people who've become a customer before. The thing to remember here is that this is an existing customer budget cap. Okay, this is not an engaged audience budget cap, so this doesn't have a bearing on retargeting overall. it has a bearing on post-purchase retargeting, existing customer, not existing engaged audience. Okay, so really important that we remember that we've got engaged audience and existing customers, and this is discussing the existing customer budget cap. If we leave it unticked, it won't have a maximum on it. You give free rein to Facebook. But if you put an existing customer budget cap in there, it will prompt you to say how much do you want to spend on those existing customers. Now, typically the percentage that works quite well here is like between 20 and 30, so that you can cap it if in case it goes like any further than that. So the final thing that I want to cover on this lesson about the advantage for shopping campaigns is how to take a look at the segments like your new audience, your existing customers, and your engaged audience to see how they're doing. Okay, so once these audiences are defined, you're going to want to select the advantage for shopping campaign and then dive into the ad set or the ad level. From there, we can select the breakdowns tab. So instead of columns or reports, we're going to select breakdowns. And what we're able to do is scroll down to demographics, audience segments, and then if we select that, we can see how all of these are doing. And you can see that this one is actually doing a lot of prospecting. It's doing that profitably, but it's also doing retargeting as well. And obviously that's helping to get people across the line. Okay, so hopefully this clarifies any questions that you have on the breakdowns of the segments, and the rest of the video, of course, cover how to define them and what you should be putting under there. Okay, hope this helps.